And we are back with another episode of the Talking Lead Podcast. It's episode 320. You lead heads are probably asking yourselves, wow, you just dropped 319. So this one is a kind of a supplemental episode to episode 319. We had the opportunity, after we did that episode, to go out to Royal Range. Century Arms, Canik, and Talking Lead arranged kind of a media, public meet and greet, shoot the Canik TP9 Elite SC, and we had some other cool guns out there to shoot for everybody. It was a good time. Thanks to Royal Range USA there in Nashville, Tennessee, for helping get that all set up and arranged on such short notice, and I appreciate everyone that took the time to come out and visit, say hi, shoot the guns, and give their feedback. And that's kind of what this show is about, is to give you lead heads some first-hand accounts of people who were out there and actually shot the TP9 Elite SC. And that's what this episode's about. It's a short episode. It's not a real long episode as you guys are normally used to with the Talking Lead podcast. But like I said, this is just kind of a supplemental episode. I'm dropping in before we drop the Talking Lead AK Corner, which is going to be coming soon after this one. Sponsored by Century Arms. And we had the opportunity to record that while we were out there at Royal Range. And it's going to be a great first episode of Season 2. So you're not going to want to miss the kickoff of Season 2 of the Talking Lead AK Corner. But before we get into that, I just want to give a big thanks to all you lead heads for all the support that you've been giving us for the podcast, spreading the word, letting your buddies, your family, your co-workers know about the show. We greatly appreciate that. Keep spreading the word. Keep taking part, engaging with us on social media, like our post, share our post, and of course, go and support those that support the Talking Lead podcast. Kel-Tec Weapons, the CP33, we've still got that to give away. I've really been building it up over these last couple of months, but we are definitely going to give that away. We're just trying to come up with a really fun, cool way to do that. So we're working with Chad and Matt over there at Kel-Tec, and we're going to come up with something really cool for you guys to do to be able to take part and have the opportunity to win one of those awesome CP33, their 22 competition pistols. So check them out, keltecweapons.com. And of course, for all your gun cleaning and lubrication needs, don't just clean your firearms, optimize them with modern Spartan Systems line of gun cleaners and gun lubricants. Their accuracy oil has been raved over by some of the industry's most elite shooters. We've had Charlie Melton on here before. You guys, if you're not familiar with Charlie, go back, listen to some of the episodes where we had him on. He's a former Navy SEAL sniper, and he's trained some of their most elite, some of the big names that you're all familiar with that have had movies and books written about them. So when a guy like that gives a testimony on that this stuff really works, it's not just another snake oil. ModernSpartanSystems.com. Check them out. And don't forget to use that discount code TLCP15. That's going to get you 15% off your purchase. And they're going to donate an additional 15% to Camp Patriot, an awesome nonprofit organization set up to keep our wounded and disabled vets active. ASP USA, Armament Systems and Procedures. They make great products for our law enforcement, and they have some really nice dual fuel flashlights, which I've been trying out, in which they also gave away 3 of their XTDFs during the Talking Lead 300th episode celebration of giveaways, which is part of the Kel-Tec giveaway that we're going to be doing. The XTDF, if you guys haven't been online, checked it out, you hadn't ordered one, hadn't bought one, these are some of the best, most durable flashlights that I've used. They've also got the Garda and the Scribe, which are smaller, more portable, handheld, more kind of your EDC type things. But you can't go wrong with any of their flashlights. And as an added benefit to you lead heads, they have offered a discount. It's LED20, and you're going to get 20% off any of their flashlight or flashlight accessories. And that's over at aspusa.com. Go check them out. First Tactical. As I mentioned in the last episode, right before the hunt, I had put an order in for some of their products to try out, some of their shirts, their pants, their boots. And I've been wearing the boots, tried the boots out for a couple of days now. Really enjoying those so far. I'm looking forward to getting them out into the outdoors and trying them out. I'm going to be doing that soon in their shirts and their pants. Another company that's got a full line of products. They've got knives, they've got flashlights, I think they've got watches, but they've got apparel, they've got bags, just pretty much anything that you can think of or want for the LE military operator type person. Even hunters. I mean, they've got products out there to fit all your needs. So go check out First Tactical and use the discount code FLEOA. That should still be active. That's FLEOA. And he gave me permission to let you leadheads use this code. It was originally set up for our good buddies over at the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association. It's going to get you 25% off your purchase. Plus, they're going to donate an additional 10% to FLEOA. So make sure you go First Tactical, and I guarantee you're going to find something there that's going to catch your eye, whether it's for you or a gift for someone. FirstTactical.com. In Medicine in Bad Places, our good buddy Tony over there was gracious enough to set you leadheads up with another discount code, actually 2 discount codes, for any of their products on their website. Talking Leads are going to get you 20% off. And then, if you want to take some of their renowned medical training courses, you can go to their website, check the schedule. You can even give them a call and try to arrange for them to come to your neck of the woods. If you've got a group of people that you want to set up training for, they can do that also. And use Talking Lead 15, and that's going to get you 15% off any of their courses there. Medicine in Bad Places. Then, of course, we've still got an X Steel Targets gong that we're going to be giving away. That's going to be coming up soon. Give you details on how you're going to participate to win that. And then the AK Corner. And like I mentioned earlier, that's getting ready to kick off right after this episode. Later on this week, Friday to be exact, is when that's going to drop. And I want to see you lead heads participating. I want to see emails from you. I want to see suggestions on guests, on topics. I want you spreading the word about the AK Corner. Get us new listeners to the show, somebody you think might be interested. Have them send an email and said, hey, such and such told me about the AK Corner. I'm going to be listening, going to be participating, that kind of thing. And then, of course, sharing our post on social media, going to our sponsors. Century Arms is our presenting sponsor this year, so I want to see you guys show them a lot of love. And then, of course, under that Century Arms umbrella, we've got Red Army Standard ammunition. We've got U.S. Palm, and then, of course, Canik. We'll be talking a lot about those in the near future, all of those companies. So that's how the Leadhead Brigade grows and spreads, by you, the Leadhead Brigade, going out, spreading the word, sharing the love, and leducating your family, friends, co-workers, and neighbors. Don't be afraid to go to your next door neighbor and say, hey, listen to this podcast, or I'm going to call the HOA on you. So without further ado, we're going to get into this episode talking about people's reactions to shooting the Canik TP9 Elite SC subcompact 9mm pistol.
So you know, most people know me as Tiny Dancer.
Tiny Dancer.
Yep, so if you ever go to Tactical Response, that is how people know me.
Okay.
They don't know me for David.
It's just Tiny Dancer.
That's the nickname I got. I used to be a professional ballet dancer.
Okay, interesting.
And I'm tiny, obviously.
You're really not tiny. You are not tiny.
So that's a little background of what James's wife gave me the name, and then everyone's called me that since.
Yeah. So, guys, we're at Royal Range, USA, and this is our big Century Arms Canik TP9 subcompact, SC Elite subcompact, and we're getting everybody's feedback here. And we've got David.
Yep.
Do you want your last name out there? Tiny
Sure.
Dancer?
Yep. It's David Ginsheimer, also known as Tiny Dancer.
And he is an alum from Tactical Response, and he came out with James today. And I mean, I'm impressed with your shooting skills, son.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's a lot of dry practice.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. So we're here to get your thoughts, initial impressions about the Elite SC. So tell us about your experience with it there.
Honestly, I was actually very, very, very impressed with it. With how small it is, and yet so manageable in the recoil. And then the trigger, of course, Canik is known for its amazing trigger, and
Right.
it follows through right into this new firearm.
So you're familiar with the Canik. You've shot Caniks before?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So in your opinion, as far as the other Caniks that are out there, I mean, this one definitely stacks up with the line of Caniks.
Absolutely. I feel like their quality only gets better and better the more that they're producing stuff and putting it out there. And so this lives up to the expectation and goes further, of course.
Yeah. So you got to shoot the one with the RMR and then the one with just the iron sights. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. What did you think about the RMR?
Are
you a typical RMR kind of guy?
I am not. I'm an iron sights guy. I always have been. I mean, I have nothing against RMRs. I think they're wonderful.
Right.
I think they're if you're used to red dots on rifles, it's an easy transition. You just got to get your sight alignment back and learning how to draw it appropriately. But honestly, I think it's a great asset to have on the gun, and as James always said, they're coming.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not, they're going to be a part of the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be a choice. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to come out there and they're going to give you the option to throw them in, on there. But you're always going to have those iron sights.
Exactly.
So.
And that's the thing is I
But it's nice to have that option.
Exactly. And I think that's one of those things. If I'm thinking about picking up a Canik, especially after today, it was wonderful shooting them. And
and there's no reason why you shouldn't. For the price, it's ridiculous the price on these things.
$379, is that what they said?
Yeah, for the SC.
Yeah,
I think $379.
And then they're cheap. They're like run of the mill, like entry level $270.
$270. Yeah,
I just couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
So and honestly, that was one of the things that blew me away is that for $379, you're getting the gun, you're getting a potential to put an RMR on it, the holster, 2 magazines with an extension for one of them for 15 rounds. It's
unbelievable. Yeah,
and the trigger out of the box is unbelievable.
Well, even on their upgraded models on the Caniks, they've got the salient parts. They got the salient barrel, the magwell, the trigger. And these I think they're below 700. You can get one.
Yes.
I think that's MSRP, and then of course you go to your store, you're getting it for a whole lot cheaper than that.
Well, which, once again, how is that possible?
I don't know.
That's what I keep asking them. How do you guys get these guns so cheap, and yet, from what I've seen, they've been very reliable. They're comfortable and fun to shoot. Recoil is phenomenal. And then the trigger, once again, I know I harp on the trigger, but to me that is...
Well, I know we did back when they came out, it's been a couple of years ago, they brought them out to Tactical Response, and it was like a rainy, muddy day. And I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but they took one and they just threw it down in the mud puddle, started stomping on it.
Of course.
And then picked it up and threw a mag in it and then just, started shooting, and it ran.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, and I actually, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, I did my bachelor party at Tactical Response. I brought a bunch of guys out that had never shot before.
Nice.
So they all got loaners. They all got the Caniks, of course.
Yeah.
And they ran great through the class, and the guys loved them. And, we had a few issues with some mags, but come to find out, it was just they were all dirty and hadn't been cleaned in who knows how long.
Right. Yeah. So you're digging it. You give it a thumbs up.
100% thumbs up.
Very nice. So, again, we're at Royal Range USA. And I know that they are carrying the full line of Caniks here. So as you're listening to this, you're in another state, go check your local dealer. I'm sure they have them there. In like Royal Range, they've got theirs on their rental program here too. So you guys can go out, try it before you buy it kind of thing. But, just go ahead and bring your money because you're going to buy it, no doubt. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your background. We were talking in I think this is interesting.
So my background is originally I was a ballet dancer. I know that sounds it's an oxymoron.
And you're what, like 6'3"?
6'4", yeah.
6'4", yeah.
Yeah, 6'4", 215.
Yeah.
Ex-ballet dancer. I was about 30 pounds less than I am now when I was dancing. So
okay, a little more trim.
A little more trim at that point. I have a little more muscle mass than I did then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was an ex-ballet dancer. Now I'm into fitness, and I ended up breaking my back when I was dancing.
Oh, shit.
So that's kind of what ended my career and pushed me full-time into fitness and
How
rehab.
did you break your back dancing?
Partnering incident. So that's where two people are dancing together. You have a partner, a duet, and it was at the end of a work day, and it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd been through a pas or a duet 3 times, and it was a 10-minute long ball, so you're just exhausted, and you're lifting your partner around. And my partner at the time was 6 foot. She wasn't a small partner.
Holy cow.
And you're pressing her above your head and things like that. And so
is this the giant ballet? I mean, are ballet people typically that tall?
No. We're a rarity.
Okay.
We are very much a rarity. And
I
that's
don't
why
know much about ballet. So
most women are 5'5", 5'6". And
yeah, I thought
5'4".
they were like little tiny,
Yeah, absolutely.
little tiny things.
But, there are the few, and so they find people like me to partner with the few.
Yeah.
So anyways, I was end of the day tired, pressing her above my head. We just got some timing off and ended up fracturing my back. I didn't know it at the time. I just thought it was a muscle spasm and danced on it for 3 months.
Oh, damn.
Did a performance and everything else, and then finally went in, and the doctors were like, nope, your career's done. You got to move on. And they told me you'd never run, never dance again. And a year later, I ended up doing like an ultra marathon. And
really?
I was like, screw you guys. I'm not going to accept that. So.
But that's through your did you self-teach, or did you go and study, the physiology and all that kind of stuff?
I have a degree in kinesiology.
Okay.
Yeah,
was that before or after your ballet?
During.
During?
So when I
Gotcha.
was dancing, I was getting my degree in kinesiology, getting all my certs, personal training certs, Pilates certs, etc.
So you're doing like more rehab kind of things now for sports figures and
Correct.
maybe ballet dancers. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, we are the official studio for the Nashville Ballet, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
There you go.
Very, did you travel all over the world doing the ballet?
I did. Most of my travels were here in the United States, but there was a few other travels.
So I'm trying to get out. I think you were a spy. You've seen those movies where
right?
people travel around like the ballet or the orchestra and.
I can't say I was or was not.
The Red Sparrow. What was the name of that movie?
Yeah, Red Sparrow. I think you're. Yeah,
Red Swallow or Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
Or I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
Black
she
Swan?
was a dancer and she went and killed a bunch of people or something.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's you.
I was just I was the male version.
Yeah, that's cool. So what's the name of your company that you work for, your business?
Simply Balanced.
Simply Balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've got a back problem or something. I don't know what it is. We're trying to get him to diagnose it here, but hopefully he'll get my range of motion back here. Give me a good tip or trick, or maybe a pill. I don't know.
maybe.
So I'm sure you're probably against the medicines and stuff. So you're more about holistic and.
As much as we can. Obviously, there are times where we have to pursue surgeries, but I always say that's one of the last resorts, not the first resort.
Yeah.
And so if we have no other options and we have to pursue surgery or something like that, then yes, absolutely. As for medicines, whether it be painkillers and stuff like that, I know maybe it's just me, but I'm not a big fan of. I suck it up.
Yeah. Well, I've never been a big fan of medication, and last case scenario,
exactly.
But I've been popping 800 milligram ibuprofen twice a day.
No,
this crap right now. But maybe we'll get it worked out.
Well, dude, you need. I can refer you to a great professional to help take care of you, and then maybe they'll refer you back over to me, and we'll get
very
you taken
cool.
care
Give
of.
them your. You got a website or something like that?
Yeah, it's just sbalanced.com.
Okay, very cool. David, thanks so much for taking the time to coming out and shooting the Canik TP9 Elite SC.
Yes, sir.
So many names.
I can't remember all of them, honestly.
Right. Beep. All right, guys. So as promised, we have delivered. We're at Royal Range, USA, and we are getting our first shots with the Canik TP9 Elite, or how do you say it, James? Elite SC.
It's like off Heartbreak Ridge. I'm building an Elite fighting unit.
Elite. I like that. That's one of the best. I haven't thought about that movie in a long time. I love that. Subcompact 9mm, the new offering from Canik.
It is imported from Turkey. Yeah.
From Turkey by Century Arms.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we got our good buddy Adam Ranalla here.
Welcome. I guess I just welcomed myself. I don't know what I just did there, but you're welcome.
You are welcome.
Yeah.
We are welcome here at Royal Range. We got Art, Boomdog.
Absolutely, and I'm really glad to have all you guys here. It's fantastic. We thrive with these type of events.
Yeah, the purveyor of Royal Range USA. And also joining us, we've got the photographer extraordinaire, Don Reber, tactical photographer.
Glad to be here, glad to record everything. Stills and working the video for James, helping out.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
And the Canik pistols are awesome.
I'm going to turn you guys
especially
up.
that little soft shooter.
They're all soft shooters. Absolutely. So we're going to go around the table. We're going to get initial thoughts. We'll start with James.
Well, I was wondering if I was going to get introduced or not.
I thought I just did in the beginning. James Yeager, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, our lead heads know you. They know the voice.
I'm sure I don't have to, I don't have to wait too long. I'll just introduce myself. I don't even care.
So, James.
Yes.
Your initial thoughts on the Elite.
I was telling him earlier, it was just kind of boring. And that's a compliment, because what I mean is I've just come to expect that the guns function, that they're reliable, they're accurate, good triggers, so
it's consistent.
If I came here and a Canik didn't work, I would have been, hey, there's something different here, something unique here.
Right.
And I'm not just saying it because he's sitting here, like, they just work. And I just expect when there's a new model out that it just works.
It just works, yeah. And true to form, like you said, the subcompact is, if you've shot a Canik before, it's like you said, it's going to be boring. It's what you expect.
Listen, I want my guns to be boring.
Don't want anything exciting happening with my guns.
That might be the worst marketing tagline I've ever heard. Yeah.
Luckily,
Things I'm not going to use in any sort of billboard capacity. Yeager, boring.
But luckily, I'm not in marketing.
That's not what you do for a living at all, is it?
Listen, it's a compliment to the gun. I mean, and we're joking around and stuff, but really,
Yeah.
like I am trying in a weird way to compliment the gun, because there's no surprises. It works like the rest of them.
So for those who aren't familiar with the Canik, what James is talking about is for this class of firearm, and I say class, I put it in a price category. I mean, this should be in a lot higher price category than what these guys are, putting it on in the market as. Sub 300,
yeah.
sub 400.
Yeah, it's coming in at sub 400 all over the country right now. If you Google it, if you look at any of the major gun affiliates, it's right there at $379.99.
Yeah, but one of the nicest triggers that you're going to get from the factory.
The nicest trigger in a mass-produced plastic pistol is in the Canik.
Yeah, I mean it's nicer than some of the aftermarket triggers that you go out there and spend some money on. So. And the sights as well. Love the sights. Again, like James said, I mean, it's consistency throughout their line of firearms is what you're going to get there. And for the price, it's coming with a holster. You get a nice case. It comes in a nice case, foam case.
Two back straps, 12 and 15 round magazine. It comes with the pinky rest with the extended mag on the 15. It comes with a flush base plate if you want to go that route. Yeah, I mean, so it's the whole line is known for all the accessories you get, all bundled up for an aggressive price point, and that was nothing we were going to change when it came to the subcompact, and we're just really excited to see
sub $400 for that whole package. It's amazing. Don, let's get your take on it. And you're familiar with the Canik as well.
Having shot the Elite before and had some trigger time with the different ones that Tactical Response has available, and shooting the compact, it's everything that the big gun is as far as trigger, but yet being such a small pistol, I thought the recoil was reasonable, recovery reasonable. So I mean, it's a very shootable compact, which not all compacts are.
Yeah. And I think that trigger reset helps with that too, keeping the recoil and everything, because you're just right on it every time.
Not only has Don shot the Caniks, Don has shot me shooting the Caniks, and it's been in the Century Arms catalog with the Caniks.
And he means shot, he took a picture, guys. So he didn't really shoot him.
Not
Don's
yet.
a better shooter than that.
Not yet.
The day
Let's just
is
say
young.
I know how to work around a gun with a camera.
Yeah. And Art, here at Royal Range, you guys have been carrying Caniks for a while.
Yes, we have.
And as far as the sales of the Caniks, how have you noticed the sales of the Caniks throughout the years?
It's been a great product for us. Of course, we teach a lot of classes here, and it's been a solid performer. We've had some of the Caniks out in our rental program, and being in Nashville, we have a lot of traffic on our rental guns. And when somebody comes in there, if they're taking a handgun carry permit class or they're taking a class just to carry a gun for defensive purposes, it's all about the fit and the finish, the trigger, the recoil management, and things like that. And the price point is one of the greatest things about this. Just like James was talking about, boring in performance because it doesn't break. It's working, and that's huge. And just like what he was telling us a while ago about the manageability of it, it's fantastic. So, no matter what your motive carry is, outside the waistband, inside the waistband, or appendix, the price point, the quality, the fit and finish is there, and it's been a great performer for us.
And the holster is a decent holster. It's not like that throw-in freebie afterthought.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's a well thought out and has the.
And it gives you the capability of doing inside or outside the waist. It's reversible.
And it works.
Yeah, the newest holster is the best holster they've ever put in the box. That's for sure. And back to the boring thing, the Maytag repairman. Like if you were a Canik armorer, you're just sitting around bored. Like people have asked me before, do they have an armor school? I said, why would they need one? I mean, one breaks a year, some dude at the factory fixes it, and
But I mean, it's like any other firearm you work on. It's, take it apart, and if you've worked on one before, you're going to know how to work on it.
But we've never field stripped ours past just field stripping. We've never taken them apart any further.
Really?
Yeah. Why would I? And I mean, I'm sure the middle of them's kinked up with gunk and stuff like that, but they're still shooting, so I'm not taking them apart. Yeah. It's kind of like Art and his rental guns. I mean, we just kind of let these things go till they don't work anymore.
I was telling David, you'd had a Canik day out at your range a couple of years ago. I can't remember how long ago it was.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a big gang, big group of people. I can't remember who it was, but they took one, they threw it in the mud. It might have been you, and just stomped on it. And then picked it up and then ran it, and it ran flawless.
Yeah, they just work.
There's tanks, yeah. So
I know we're here to talk about the new subcompact, but the SFX is my favorite Canik, the long barrel one. And man, you put a dot on that thing, and it is pure poison. I mean, like that thing is a absolute shooter.
Well, that's kind of the purpose of this show is to introduce our listeners, and of course, we want them to spread the word about the Canik. So let's talk about the other lines that you have, not just the subcompact.
Well, I'm going to talk about the SFX some more.
Yeah, talk about that one.
You can get that thing on the shelf usually with a dot on it for around, Adam, 700.
Yeah.
Under 700, yeah, sub 700.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's, people are getting competitive with it, and we're okay with it as long as it's not getting unfair to the smaller dealers. But yeah, it's out there for cheap. We'll put our gun against anybody at that price point.
Talk about all the features that are on that one.
Well, I think hearing from your opinion is really one of my favorite things to do.
So it's the long slide model. So it's a full size frame, long slide model. It comes optics ready, and it's got the Caniks have the nicest trigger. It has the nicest Canik trigger, and
it's the nicest of the Canik triggers. Yeah,
dude, I shot mine during a Super Dave Harrington class, and Super Dave's very demanding as far as accuracy is concerned. Did a 25-yard bullseye, and I literally put 10 shots through the X, not the 10 ring, through the X with that. And nice. I don't know that I own another pistol that I could do that with.
Yeah, and that's what I found the first time that I shot it. But the other model. So he was talking about the SX.
Yeah,
SFX.
And then we have what people are falling in love with now is the Executive. That Executive is really just a cool gun, and it was such a great opportunity to be able to team up with Salient on this. And one of the things that I've heard from some industry leaders is it's unique to see the manufacturer actually go out and team up with an aftermarket company rather than just having their guns available to be modded, you know. And that was one of those things. The really neat thing about Canik and a lot of the guys that are representing it, from the sales staff to marketers to some of the guys that are fans of it behind the counter, is we truly are gun guys. We appreciate guns. And to be honest, up until recently, I didn't know how I was going to justify spending $4,000 to have a Salient Arms gun. How do you say I can just spend that? Well, we do it, but we don't necessarily tell our wives and things like that. So when we have the opportunity to team up with them and have all these nice features on this product and do it at under $800, was a no-brainer. And the biggest testimony to us was Salient doesn't want their name on crap. You know, they're not going to want to diminish their brand by having something
Absolutely.
that somebody goes out and spends money on, expecting a certain standard of quality, and then it failed on them. So when they said, "Hey, not only do we want to do this with you, but we want it to be, you know, not mass produced, but marketed in volume," it was a great opportunity
So
that we
with
jumped
the
on.
with the executive, it's a Salient barrel.
I mean, there's a ton of things. There's
Talk
Salient
about
barrel. There's the sights, the trigger, the magwell. And there's a number of components that are the small touches. You know, the cool thing about those guys is, what I think people appreciate and are willing to pay so much money is, it truly is, to a sense, a mom and pop shop still. You know, they personally touch these things. They are doing the aftermarket work that really goes into the quality, and you can feel it when you pull the trigger on these guns. So there's so much love and TLC that truly goes into each of these handguns.
So
that it really
comparatively
speaks volume.
speaking, other brands of firearms, I'm not going to say what brand. If you were to have the Salient package like you've got there, I mean, you're looking at $1,800, you know, somewhere around
Well,
there.
yeah, you're going to spend $800-900 on the gun, and then you're going to, or not even that, not necessarily, you know, $700 to $800
Depends.
on the gun. Yeah, whatever gun.
Depends on what brand.
Yeah, you're going to spend, and then you're
We're
going
not
to
going
go
to talk
out.
other brands here.
So just the barrel alone, I think we know. I mean, yeah, you start to spend these parts, you start to get all these things that you want to add to
And
the
this
gun.
one's sub $800.
It's $799.
$799. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
you know, you're going to spend easy another $1,500-1,800.
And talk
to make
about
this
your
gun.
combat line.
And the combat line is exactly what it is. I mean, so the combat line was designed originally to be used for military and law enforcement purposes, you know, across the ocean. And what it is we took some of the features that had really been well received in that dynamic, modified them for the American civilian market, and brought it over. And it's been so amazingly well received as well. I mean, when you have these little details that are truly responding to what the actual consumer wants, it's usually well received. And that's what I got to give credit to Canik for, is they listened. And it took a little longer than we wanted for the subcompact to come out, but they said, hey, they want to co-witness their red dot. They want, you know, an ambidextrous mag release. They want these things on these different guns, and they started doing it. And they want it all at a price point that people can afford. And sometimes it takes a little while to figure out how to make that work too. You know, those machines don't run for free. And so to figure out how to make it work, the volume that you need to make it work without putting yourself in a financial hole, people don't realize that. You know, the more guns they make, the cheaper it is for them. But they can't go out and make 100,000 guns out the gate and put themselves out of business if the gun doesn't do well. And just because you have a lot of pride in a gun doesn't necessarily mean it's going to sell. And so, especially with a brand like Canik that has slowly begun to grow this cult following, they can't afford. They're still, the guy that owns the company, Uku, still gets on the phone with me on a daily basis to see how they're going. It's not like it's some mass top hat wearing corporation that's out there just slinging out billions of dollars. This is still family run, family owned business with a lot of personal pride that goes into it. So they care what people say. They care when there's a negative Facebook comment. They care, and they see them and they respond to them. And that's because that's what it is. This company was genuinely designed to be the everyday shooter's gun. And that's how the price point reflects. That's how they respond to customer complaints. That's how they respond to customer demands. And that's how they're going to continue to run their business. And it's really an honor to work for them. And then to hear people like you brag so much about the fact that they are boring. Thanks, James.
Hey, real quick, you know, I've known Uku for about 5 years now, and he's a good person. Like, he's a good human being. And he's the kind of guy that if you met him, had dinner with him, like, you'd be like, I'm going to buy one of that guy's guns. And that's the kind of people I like being around in this industry. And he's a good person. And I you know, Adam and I could talk for hours and Art, but there are people in this industry that aren't gun people, that don't believe in what we do, that this is just, you know, whatever. And then the people at Canik have a passion for delivering a good product to the American citizen, you know. And so it's just, you know, like I said, I want to buy stuff from people I like, and I like these guys.
Yeah. So did we run through all the different models there? So
Yeah, I mean, I think
executive, combat, elite.
you know this
SF.
is you know
SF.
this show is obviously about, you know, making sure that we cover certain products, but more importantly, I think this is really about just understanding what the Canik brand is. You know, we'll put our name behind anything that we know is.
We're going to
quality.
talk Century, you know, in
And
other episodes.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
no, this
episode
is about. That's what I'm saying. This is it's not less as about, going down the checklist of what is every single Canik product is about understanding who they are and what they stand for and their commitment to excellence. And I mean, their logo is Canik Superior Handguns. And the reason
That's the logo.
That's the logo and the slogan. And while that may have some Turkish to English translation issues in terms, it really is how they stand by. Is they want their things to be superior, and that's what we have on our shirts. Is everything they do, they want to be the best at, and they want to do it at a price point people can afford. So that's really what I wanted to address more, and I want people's true feedback. Hey, these are good guns, and every one of them shoots. Every one of them feels the same, and that's what we want. The magazines on half the guns fit in the other guns. If you pick something from the same line, it's interchangeable. And those are the things. Everything is going to work as it should. Always.
The largers are going to fit in all the smallers. Magazines.
Yes.
Right? Magazine-wise.
Right? That's a comment we're going to leave. Views reflected on this show are not necessarily brought to you by Canik. Yeah.
So if they want to check these out, they can go to Century's website, Century Arms.
Yeah, you can go to centuryarms.com and you can click through to it, but we also have CanikUSA.com is now open. Obviously, social media is a huge talking point for all of us. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of the normal mediums. But absolutely, if you want more information on a particular product, if you want more information on the brand as a whole, you can obviously tune into Talking Lead. Or, what is it, Smoking Lead, as they call it earlier?
Smoking Lead is what John was calling it.
Or you can check us out on our social media. It has a lot of information, and then it's obviously on a day-to-day update. But then CanikUSA.com is where you're going to find all of the thorough information you might need in making a decision.
And Tactical Response, you got some great videos posted and some coming.
Yep.
So check out James over Tactical Response.
I just did one on some 5-year-old TP9 SAs with Don and I did the math on them. If they've been used once a month since I had them, and they shot the minimum for each round of class they were in, they have at least 45,000 rounds through them.
Wow, that's a lot. And they're still running.
Yep.
And you've not taken them apart and worked on them or anything.
No, it's time for mags. Like the followers have got, they're loose inside the mags now.
I guess
they have worn out. But like I wouldn't have expected a magazine to last 10,000 rounds, let alone anything else.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, very good. We've got other people that we're going to get some feedback from too, so we'll get them here in just a little bit. But guys, thanks for taking the time to join us here at Royal Range today for this awesome day. Brought to you by Century Arms and Canik.
Yeah, and big thanks again to Royal Range. These guys have been nothing but accommodating today. If you're ever in the Nashville area, please make sure to check them out. These guys, literally a first-class operation in a cool environment. It's just neat. I mean, it's just something. When do you get to shoot in a movie theater and not make the news? You know what I'm saying? So it really is a cool thing.
But and we have snacks, right?
But here's the thing. Here's what I tell people. Art and I used to police together, and I asked him if do you think he's doing a good job as general manager here? And they say they have various answers. The employees here, I go, he was a worse cop, so whatever he's doing here, it's got to be better.
It's got to be better than what he was
mobility,
doing as a cop.
Upward mobility. But no, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. We're really super stoked to carry Canik, and to reiterate what everybody said here. When I don't have to get a RA or a return address and send it back because there's a problem. And that speaks volumes right there. And we don't have to. And we don't clean ours either other than field stripping. And it works, and it works, and it works. It's an unknown jewel out there, and people need to wake up.
It is.
And it's at the price point, the quality, and what it is. It's just a fantastic platform.
Yeah, this is the gun. You call it the blue-collar man's gun, but, it should be priced a lot higher than what it is. But this gives everyone the opportunity to be able to exercise their Second Amendment rights and carry a good quality, reliable firearm. And that's with the Canik. It starts off, and your base model is it's sub 300. So you can.
Yeah, we have the 1 Series at $279.
You can get one of these quality firearms for sub $300. That's ridiculous, and there's no excuse why you can't go out there and get a firearm to protect you, yourself, your family, your loved ones. Check them out. Canik, go to your local dealer. If you're in Nashville, obviously come to Royal Range USA. Check out their bachelor and bachelorette parties if you want to.
Party in the house.
Party. What's rule number 1?
Party. Now you know the rules, by the way.
That's the rules. And they're just royalrangeusa.com. Is that your website?
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Instagram, Facebook, and then you can follow Art at Boomdog Saint.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, the big Boomdog Saint. So, Guys, any parting words to the Leadhead Brigade?
Your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.
Perfect.
All right, gang, that does it for another episode of the Talkie Lead Podcast, the podcast that's been leducating the unleducated since 2012. Nearly 7 years now, Leadheads, and that's all thanks to you. Just a reminder to you Leadheads, go and show those that support this show all the love possible. Kel-Tec Weapons, Modern Spartan Systems, ASP USA, Glock, Occam Defense, Century Arms, Red Army Standard, Royal Range USA, and all our guests. Let them know how much you appreciate them taking the time to be on the podcast. That really goes a long way in future episodes. So guys, as always, until next episode, keep your loved ones close and your firearms closer. Train, 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 train.